Hi. So, can we just pretend that I haven't not been here for like a year? Awesome. Knew I could count on you guys. So, happy 2019. I'm going to start my first video of the year off as you see it titled 2019 Makeup Goals. I have a couple categories as usual. The first we're going to start off with is attitudes. The first attitude that I want to approach makeup with this year and filming and sort of life in general is an F it attitude. I came to a couple realizations about myself towards the latter half of last year, and one of those was just realizing that I had a defeatist attitude. I'm a very impatient person, though I never really considered myself that way. If something is not easy for me to do, I don't work hard at it, and then I'm not good at it, and then I say, fuck, I don't want to do it anymore. And I get defeated if I don't see results immediately, and that stops me from doing a lot of things. When if you just do things, you'll get better, and then you'll have a lot of fun doing it. So in terms of YouTube and makeup, I wasn't really filming because I would film something and it wouldn't be perfect, and then I would get really salty about it and never upload it, and then like the whole year went by that way, and now there are 0 videos up because, you know, lighting isn't perfect, my setup is crap, I'm filming on an ironing board and textbooks right now. So I'm just gonna say screw it and just film and just upload and see what happens, you know. The next attitude that I want to develop is back to black. I almost can't even say back because that implies that I was ever there to begin with, but I noticed I don't put a lot of intentionality, and we're gonna come back to that word, behind supporting makeup artists or YouTubers of color, particularly Black YouTubers. And today is really fortuitous because Makeup Struggles just uploaded like some of her favorite Black YouTubers to follow. I also don't do that intentionally with brands. I obviously love Juvia's Place, I love Colored Rain, but other than that, I can't think of many that I gravitate towards, particularly in drugstore. I was in Target yesterday and realized I don't think I've ever purchased anything from Aman, CoverGirl Queen Collection, Black Radiance. I may have 1 or 2 Black Radiance things actually. But we can't complain about lack of diversity and then not support people that do include us. So that is something that I want to be very intentional about in 2019. This next one is a really broad yet kind of important one to me. I want to go back to basics, and I'm not just talking about technique or anything like that, but I want to go back to how I felt when I first really got into makeup, like 2010. My mentality towards makeup. While I wouldn't call myself a collector now, I do find myself getting very wrapped up in just purchasing products, like a lot of us do. But I want to go back to the days when I was always at the drugstore. I mean, mostly because that's all I could afford. I don't know why I act like that's still not all I can really afford, but I would make things work because I could not afford to spend $15 on a MAC lipstick back when MAC lipsticks were $15. So that forced me to get really creative, put cool color combos together. I was always on the search for dupes. I remember when Candy Yum Yum was a thing, but I didn't want to spend $15 on Candy Yum Yum. So I got a bright pink dupe from Milani. Didn't really work for me, but I was still super excited. And I feel only recently have I gotten really excited about makeup again. So that's something that I want to get back into. And also when I say back to basics, while I said it wasn't as much about techniques, I want to figure out what works for me, which kind of gets back into my biggest thing for 2019 is I want to be intentional about the way that I consume and use makeup, right? Or the way that I purchase and use makeup. I want to figure out what works for me. I need to experiment more. I have about 4 concealers right now. I have the ColourPop, the Makeup Revolution, the Tarte one that just came out. I have Radiant Creamy. I'm about to toss it because I actually panned it. But I could not tell you the difference between them. And I could not tell you my favorite. Aside from, oh, maybe this one is a little more like heavy coverage and this one is a better color match for me. I can't tell you their wear time. I can't tell you like finishes. And here I am spending all of this money on makeup and I'm not really informed about it, which is very irresponsible. It's kind of gross. And I want to get away from that. I want to be intentional about the way that I use products. I want to actually use things up. I think I'm going to try to implement a project pan this year, maybe a pan 9 and 19, because I know I can't do 19 things. Like, let's be realistic here. I want to figure out like how eyeshadow bases work, like which ones I prefer. Do I like concealer? Do I like actual bases? Do I want to get a paint pot? You know, there's just, I feel like with the rise of YouTube and YouTube personalities and YouTubers, it's very much about consumption and collecting and not so much about use. And there are awesome teaching channels on YouTube, but sometimes that's not always as entertaining. You go to them when you want to like figure out your cut crease, and the rest of the time we just want to watch people talk about stuff that they bought. But then I end up with product going to waste behind me, and I end up still not really knowing how to do my makeup. So biggest thing for 2019 is being intentional with the way that I purchase, the way that I use, color combos, just overall improving my makeup and improving my relationship with makeup. The next set of things that I want to get into is skills. This one's going to be pretty short, just a list. I want to finally master a cut crease. I don't think I did one at all this past year. I think I tried one in 2017 and it was like, yeah. So I really want to work on cut creases. I want to finally just figure out how to put on lashes. I never wear lashes, but I want to know how to put them on. It takes me forever to put them on. My eyelashes are very curly, so it's hard for me to get on top of like my lash line. So I just end up giving up. I end up with a gap because I'm impatient and always rushing. So eyelashes, we're gonna work on that. While we're also kind of on eyes, I just want to work on like color placement, color combos, being overall creative. You can't really, I don't know if you can really work on being creative. Like either you're creative or you're not. But I definitely want to branch out with different placements. I've done that a little bit with my blush and I've had some fun with it. But eye combos, I don't just want to do transition, crease, lid, outer corner, inner corner, bottom lash line, done. No. We're onward and upward. We're doing better in 2019. Lastly, this is a little boring, but I feel like it's necessary. I really want to get good at my base makeup. Like I said, you know, when we're talking about intentionality, I have like all these foundations, these primers, but like, do I know how to use it? Do I know how not to end up looking oily by the end of the day? The most that I can really tell you would be this foundation has like decent coverage. Not even, because I just tend to like build my makeup to what I want it to be. But I can tell you if something matches me, and I can tell you that it's matte, because that's what I look for. I don't really look for how long something wears, aside from when it's carnival season, of course. Even though I do search out matte products, I can't tell you a definitive difference between this is matte, this is satin, this is dewy. Well, I never pick up dewy, so that's none of my business. I just want to be more knowledgeable and finally like have a perfect base. I have like craters. No, let me stop playing around. Just like maybe little baby potholes in my face. I have huge pores. I'm pretty diligent with my skincare, so it's not an issue of like, oh, your pores are just dirty, or it's genetics. My brother's has like really bad pores as well. Some of them might even be ice pick scars. I need to work on that. I need to pave those babies over and just really work on like bronzing, contouring, blush placement, everything, just everything, right? Setting, oiliness. I need to get, like I said, back to basics. Now, our last category is going to be brands and products that I want to try in 2019. I'm going to try to make this quick. I have a spreadsheet. I came prepared. Intentionality. I toyed with the idea of doing a low buy or a no buy, but when you don't have like a crap ton of disposable income, every year is a low buy year. Last year, 2018, I actually didn't buy any makeup until April. I didn't even realize it. I definitely go through like dry spells. And when I do go to buy something, I look at reviews, I look on Reddit, I look at YouTube videos, I compare between different products. So I never really feel like I'm buying anything wastefully or just at the spur. So I don't really think a low buy year is necessary for me. But I do think that one thing I'm going to consider doing, like my issue right now is eyeshadow palettes. I have way too many. I'm kind of disgusted with myself actually. So I'm considering a one in, one out, where if you want to buy an eyeshadow palette, you have to get rid of one that you already have. I do, however, want to get more into single shadows, so I don't really foresee the palette thing being an issue. And I don't really have any of those stipulations when it comes to single eyeshadows, because I just feel that they will be filling in holes in my collection anyway. So I don't see myself being irresponsible with those purchases. So brands that I want to try in 2019, I really want to have more of an indie focus. I would like to try Blush Tribe. Makeup Struggles almost put me off of that Hasina 2 palette a little bit, but I do really want to try their pigments. They look so pretty. I do not like pigments. I don't like loose glitter, loose highlighter. If it's not pressed, I don't like it, but I'm going to try to get out of my comfort zone with that. I don't know. I think I want to try Buxom a little bit more. I really like the lip glosses that I do have, but I don't know if I want to try their eyeshadows. It's funny, I've seen several people now make a custom Buxom palette and they all talk about how they don't use them. So that's kind of at the bottom of my list, but it's something I'm a little bit curious about because I think they might be a little bit slept on because I love their lip glosses. The next two go hand in hand to me. I really sometimes can't even tell you the difference. I mix them up a lot, but I would like to try Glossier and Milk. Specifically maybe the Milk blurring stick, maybe the Glossier Cloud Paint. I don't foresee myself trying any lip glosses when I can get $1 lipstick at the beauty supply store. I'm not paying $18 for lip glosses in 2019. Fenty. I would like to try Inglot. The price is a slightly prohibitive, but everyone that purchases from them seems to love their eyeshadows. You know, they're all like about the artistry and whatnot. So I would like to give some of these more classic brands a try as well. Back again to the indie side, I really want to try some Sydney Grace shadows. Everyone like raves about her, loves those shadows. And I want to try something from Melt finally. I'm considering the Lovesick stack and the Gemini palette and some eyeliners when they have a sale and when anything is back in stock. I'm leaning away from the Gemini palette. I might do like a little shop my stash for that because I have greens at this point. I just bought the Juvia's Place Tribe palette, so I don't think I need those greens right now. I don't like the Smoke Sessions palette because I don't like the blue greens. I like yellowy greens. I have also heard people having issues with the way the Gemini palette is pressed, with some of their shadows crumbling or falling out. So I'm kind of leaning away from the Gemini palette right now. And out of all of their stacks, the Lovesick seems the most, like, I'm not going to spend $50 on like 5 brown shadows as pretty as the Rust stack looks. The Lovesick stack just looks the most interesting to me, and I also think I might get more use out of that as opposed to like their super bright one. Just a few more quick ones. I'm going to ramble off because I've already been talking for too long. I want to try some Nabla. I don't know what at this point, because now that I have Norvina, I don't need the Soul Blooming, but we'll see. I want to try some Sigma brushes. I want to try a little bit more Smashbox. I love their liquid lipsticks that don't really get talked about. I want to get into some of their eyeshadows. And I would also like to try LA Splash. They seem to have cool lip colors. And Love Luxe Beauty. They seem to have some cool eye stuff as well. Brushes. I want to try some Sigma, the MAC 217, and is it 245? I want to try some, some of like the classic brushes. One thing, as I said, I want to improve my base. I also want to work on my tools, because it doesn't really matter how expensive your product is if what you're using to put it on is crap. Next, like I said, because I have issues with pores, I really just want to get into maybe some pore filling primers, just figure out a good foundation for me. I want to look into the Lancome, the Teint Idole, maybe MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. I did just purchase the Hourglass, whatever that expensive powder is called. So some finishing powders, like to work on the blurring technique. I'll post my spreadsheet so you can see what I'm talking about, so I don't have to go through every product for like the next 30 minutes. So lastly, I don't know that I really have YouTube goals, because it's not really a goal of mine to have this many followers and be this person and get brand deals or anything like that. But I would say I do think I want to upload a video once a week. I want to try to be creative at least, and maybe get away from some hauls. And I want to engage more with people, which is like so far removed from my personality, but I would like to be part of a little community, I guess, whatever, gross. Yeah, I don't want to contribute to like the consumerism on YouTube. I just want to like have fun with it and have it be a hobby. This is something that I really enjoy. I think deep down, I'm a creative and like artistic person. I just lack the technical skill to like maybe draw or paint, but like makeup is something that is easier for me to do, to express that creativity and the want to play with color. So this is also kind of a way to make sure that I stay accountable with actually wearing my makeup. Who would have thought? Crazy concept, using the things you spend a significant amount of money on. So if you want, like, tell me what your makeup goals are. This isn't like a trick to like get engagement on the video. I'm just like kind of curious what other people are doing. Like I said, I kind of want to like ease my way into the community a little bit. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.